The biggest error in WNBA history might have just been made by the Indiana Fever. Millions may need to be paid of money for it. Nobody is discussing what's going on behind the scenes, which is far more explosive. Think about this. Finally, someone from a different generation joins your group. She sells out venues that have revitalizes your squad, breaks ratings records immediately, and has been unoccupied for years. What is the response, then? Music. It didn't seem like anyone was questioning why you kept bending her. This will astound you. Let's start with the money. Then, less than 1% of Caitlin Clark's anticipated $11 million income this year comes from her $78,000 WNBA paycheck. Year, she makes more money from a single Instagram post than from a month of sickness. $28 million was spent by Nike to sign. Over a period of 8 years, she is treated like a queen by Allen, Gatorade, and State Farm. Wilson even presented her with a special work music with a basketball theme, even though the Fever kept her from participating in more than 3 straight games. Every company you can think of has open wallets for music. In terms of health, isn't that peculiar? Caitlin didn't miss a single game during her time at college. She played in discomfort and dominated every night at Iowa for 4 consecutive years. However, she has frequently been excluded from the professional ranks due to sudden, inexplicable groin issues. Whether it's due of misfortune or anything more significant occurring in the background, the impact is evident. Out of 12 shots, she only made 4. After her return, she shot just 14% from 3 and fewer than 30% overall in 6 games, but this section is not being discussed. She continues to provide more than 9 assists each game on average. Even if I'm feeling down and experiencing with one arm tied behind her back, she is helping this team succeed and getting more playing time. Time away from the court. Things got worse. As if the court wasn't already full of drama lately. While going to Indianapolis, a 55-year-old stalker sent Caitlin hundreds of unsettling SMS under the false impression that they were dating. Received a prison sentence. She had to alter her public persona since things had gotten so horrible to feel more secure. Here's the crazy thing, though, she seemed to be more important to him than the medical care. Tickets are much more expensive when Caitlin is performing. In the secondary market, $1,200. During her absence, they had a 40% decline overnight. Instead of a downturn, it's a financial freefall. Even the All-Stars tickets. After she said she couldn't play, the price of the game, which was held in her home stadium, plummeted from $121 to $72. The Indiana front desk is acting as though they don't know that real money is being extracted from the facility, and things become worse just when you believe they can't get any worse. The coach assigned to put things in order, Stephanie White Wright, enters. However, it appears that she would prefer to denigrate Caitlin than allow her to be herself. It was all evident in the scene that went viral last week. In front of everyone, White requested Caitlin to get out of the coach's chair. While there is a timeout, the message was quite obvious: recognize your job, novice, avoid getting too cozy. This team is under our leadership, not yours. White continues to advocate for long-term health and the broad picture. We're scared because you've grown so large. If not, why would you watch a physically fit 23-year-old? Begins to become appealing. Why would you remove her from the game? Why make her alter the precise type of play that filled arenas and buys jerseys? It seems to be a continual reminder others have the power, even if you are the star. The worst part, though, is this. In private, Caitlin is building a much larger empire that doesn't even require them. While Indiana is embroiled in small-scale power struggles, she is not only well-liked but also a representative of women's basketball. As well as music, she garnered more votes than any other player for All-Star Captain, with over 1.2 million. Inside the league, her suggestions are worth more than the salary of the entire crew she could purchase and sell half of. The WNBA tomorrow, however, the Fever seems to suggest that she would benefit from sitting on the bench. This is where things get crazy since I have insider knowledge. Caitlin's cap space is already being created by numerous teams when she 2027 will see him become a free agent. Apart from any marketing contract, the New York Liberty are prepared to give her a maximum deal. The Las Vegas Aces can be found all around Manhattan. They would most likely throw a lavish banquet and give a casino a new name in her memory. International workers are contesting 2 7-figure incomes. Teams in Europe, offers from crazy Chinese people may involve team ownership. Additionally, Ice Cube earned $5 million. In an effort to core her, the Big Three make an offer. She has more choices than a buffet in Vegas. Here, too, the fever has subsided. Pretending that she should be appreciative of the food that was left, the persistent joke of the league, because of just one player. Indiana switched from using inexpensive aircraft that paid for water to using luxury jets for overnight flights. Moreover, they engage in power struggles that devalue reality TV rather than defending her. It's like complaining about taxes after winning the lotto. Are you wondering how awful it is? What has become of the situation? Players who go 2 for 14 are commended for maintaining their self-assurance, although Caitlin receives criticism for taking one of the 3 disputed. The go-ahead is always granted to veterans who cannot access the ocean from the beach. However, the team's greatest shooter in history is advised to exercise patience. Referees are shaking their heads over the blatant double standard. Heads, which ought to infuriate every fan. WNBA musicians, on the other hand, only receive 9% of the league's earnings. NBA players receive half. What happens when Caitlin arrives? Boosts attendance and shop fails by 500%. By 40%. They're doing everything they can to get her to leave. The funniest thing is that Fever management genuinely believes the situation is under their control. They believe that Caitlin needs them more than they do. If they believe she requires them more, they are completely mistaken to think that they need her. At just 23 years old, Caitlin Clark has an estimated net worth of $5 million. Long after she hangs up her jersey, she will have endorsements that will safeguard her future. Her devoted fan base would. If she started a Penguin basketball league, would you go to Antarctica with her? Music, this figure ought to make every employers in Indianapolis shudder. 86% of supporters responded negatively when asked if they would still support the Fever if Caitlin left. It goes beyond simple loyalty. It's an obsession. That's not a fan base. That army is on the move. These people were not able to purchase Fever t-shirts due to the name on the front. Because of the name on the back, they purchased these. And if you believe I'm overstating the difficulties she faces, consider what transpired in Connecticut during the tournament. They said that Caitlin was accidentally struck in the eye by Jonquil Jones when reporters asked Carrington. The Suns' management attempted to persuade the media to remove it after he became defensive over it each night. That's the kind of jealousy Caitlin experiences. Music, the fact that her own team won't even support her is the most dismal aspect. The figures are correct. A million people watch the games when Caitlin plays. They struggle to reach 200,000 without her. She successfully managed ESPN's WNBA coverage. When she's not playing, interest in her on social media decreases by 70%. She is the league's marketing representative in addition to being a player. Department, the discourse quickly wanes without her. At this point, the temperature is becoming frightening. Music, Caitlin is apparently already considering leaving Indianapolis, according to close friends and family. The frequent injuries, the strange coaching choices, and the management's lack of support are all getting worse. She changed from being the league's most vulnerable superstar to an iron woman who never missed a match. Furthermore, a lot of individuals are beginning to question the true nature of this music problem. The most absurd part is that the Fever might make this issue go away tomorrow. Anyone who doesn't know about their things should be thrown out. Coaches ought to be hired, rally the team behind Caitlin, and grant her the franchise's keys. And instead of making her use an antiquated, ineffective system, watch the money stream in. They won't. However, in Indianapolis, ego is more important than economy. The story is told by the data. Cities that attract talent from all generations either create empires or serve as cautionary tales. The Fever is currently dropping every second route. They are going to join a team that mistreated the main star and lost Caitlin Clark. In the history of women's basketball, whispers reach my ears. Recall that this is also where you first heard it.to give Caitlin a house that will truly love her when the time comes, not tomorrow or the next season. Right now, her team is looking into the concepts. They are laying the groundwork, establishing connections in other markets, and venturing into uncharted territory. Its irony is almost poetic. For years, the Indiana Fever played in front of vacant stadiums. They were pleading for attention because they were in dire need of it. Next, the once-in-a-generation star Caitlin Clark unexpectedly falls into their lap with the power to alter the world and a gift from the basketball gods. Caitlin Clark won't be sporting a Fever shirt in 2 years. I promise that she will earn 3 times as much in the music industry money as Indiana could ever expect to play for those who genuinely desired to be successful in Vegas, New York, or even abroad. Soon, the Fever will be reduced to a footnote in basketball, half-empty arenas, and insignificance. The past, the worst part comes next. The whole catastrophe could have been avoided. Keeping things simple. All they needed to do was let Caitlin be herself, pay the bills, and make her the star of the brand. Rather, they have created a masterclass on how to sabotage a fantastic chance of business schools will do study for decades to come. Such a collapse. If a $100 million athlete is treated like she's on low wage, the Fever will ultimately drop salary. Caitlin Clark does not require the Indiana Fever. At last, they will recognize what they possess. Music, imagine what they lost when all of the ticket customers were taken away by the circus when it left town. They had a brief need for her. Beautiful moment, but she didn't, they shoved her out the door rather than take it.do. You believe this to be the largest error in the history of the WNBA? I'll click like. Do you want to know what Caitlin will do next?